do they have one common feature? A sheep, a shepherd, a parent, a teacher, a leader, or your class prefect? Anyone, can you tell me what is it that is common in these persons?
No, captain.
Correct.
Captain.
The captain has to lead on. The shepherd, our great shepherd, the Lord Jesus, was leading the sheep. He's leading each one of us. He's showing us the way, the truth, and the life. But how many of us are hearing his words? A parent, a teacher, even your own class prefect, head girl, head boy, you're all leading a group. Of course, by example. Now, coming specifically to my topic today, I'll be lastly talking about the challenges of the youth today. But before that, because your focus I see is on teachers, is about Teachers' Day. What does a teacher impart to students? What is it that a teacher imparts to his or her students? Anyone? But a teacher, what is he or she trying to impart? Good
life lessons.
Pardon?
Good life lessons.
Yeah, knowledge. I would broadly put it as knowledge. Physics teacher, Newton, the guy, chemistry teacher will start telling you all those symbols. Sodium, potassium, melatonin symbols. Bio teacher will teach you the human anatomy. Well, we all know it. Botany teacher will tell you about plants. They're trying to impart knowledge. Now, I want to ask you as my young students, one question to all of you. Let us answer it together during the session. Knowledge or values? Malayalatila values na moolyam na parayam. Moolyangal. Am I right, Acha? Korepiscopa? Moolyangal. What is more important? The teacher will impart knowledge of the subject, that teacher's subject. My subject is criminal law. I'm a law professor. I teach criminal law. Now we impart knowledge of our own subject. Economics teacher will teach you economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics. So each teacher will impart knowledge. But I'm asking you, what is more important? Knowledge or values? Which is more important for you in your life today? Let us have 3 conclusions. Starting with conclusions, then we go back to it later. Knowledge is most important, some of you will say. How can we live if we don't have knowledge about anything? Others will tell you, whatever be your level of knowledge, you have done post-graduation, MPhil, PhD, postdoctoral research. But if you don't have values, moolyangal, if you don't have values in your life, what are you fit for? So shall we say knowledge is more important? Or values is more important? Or both are equally important? Delhiites would say barabar. Ore sthanam kodukka. I'm not giving you an answer. I'm leaving it to you to think that whether both are coexistent and equally important. Now let's take the word knowledge. You know, you can acquire knowledge through the years by many ways. There are many, many ways of acquiring knowledge. You will get knowledge from religious books, from religious teachings, religious tradition. You will get knowledge from your home. Your parents will try to impart some knowledge. You will get knowledge from the school, from the college, from your university, from textbooks, novels, or media, newspapers, TV, internet, Google, digital media, online journals, e-books, library poem pattillengil, you get e-books. You sit at home, you can download e-books. You get knowledge from the mobile, from your WhatsApp, from Facebooks, from blog. Look at the variety. Kochame, നമ്മളൊക്കെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ ആകപ്പാടെ സ്കൂളിൽ 1-2 ബുക്ക് നമ്മളോട് രൂപ കൊടുത്ത് 5 ബുക്സ് വാങ്ങിക്കാൻ തരും. കുറെ നോട്ട്ബുക്സാ കൂടുതൽ, 10-20 നോട്ട്ബുക്ക് തരും. പക്ഷെ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്ക് ആകെ അവർ തരുന്നത് ഓരോ വിഷയത്തിന് ഒരു ബുക്ക്. അതാണ്, അത് വെച്ചാൽ ഞങ്ങളൊക്കെ കൊച്ചിലെ പഠിച്ച് ഇച്ചിരി നോളജ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ നോക്കിയത്. Whereas ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക്, all of you have so much of sources, so many sources to acquire knowledge. I repeat, from books, from newspapers, from journals, from the TV channel. You surf the net, you get some knowledge. You Google Newton, Google chedal odane aa laws of motion, Newton theory alla inge kittu. And then you go to WhatsApp, you'll get some information. People give foolish, stupid forwards and knowledgeable forwards. You go to Facebook, you get some people give good information. Blogs, you read it, you get some information. So your generation today has so many sources to acquire knowledge. And this knowledge will only increase day by day. Through the years, knowledge vardichondirikkum. Pala aspects, many aspects you will acquire knowledge. If you're a science student in your science subject, if you're planning to do medicine, earlier it was only MBBS. Now, the medical college, MBBS students realize that MBBS pora. 5 varsham, 5 full years of learning, plus 1 house surgency year, 6 years. Still, they realize you still can't practice, you need specialization. And when you talk of specialization, they will have specialization, ophthalmologist, the orthopedician, gynecologist, pediatrician. Even in the gynec section or in the pediatric sessions, if the child is 6 weeks and less, then there is all kinds of specialization. And this is not only for MBBS. In every field, the specialization and specialization. Unless you are specialized in one area, you cannot tackle that area. Why is the 6-month-old baby crying? Can the baby speak? 6 മാസമുള്ള കുട്ടി, will the baby tell you? അതെ, വയറ് നൊന്നിട്ടാണ്, ചെവിക്കാത്ത വേദന. No, the baby can't speak. But the specialist will find it out, because the specialist has acquired knowledge at the time of post-graduation or through his own reading. Now, knowledge can be acquired even from the classroom. Some students have an impression, oh, class lo onnum pondane, namakka library poy book eduthu vaayikkum. We don't have to go to the classroom. Just Google and take out the name of that author or that topic and we'll get information. What is microbiology? Just Google microbiology and you'll get some information. Let us sit at home and read. Now let us go and watch a movie, theatre poha. Evening we'll read. They think there's no need of a teacher. But let me tell you, young students, you're sadly mistaken. I tell my criminal law students, and I don't have to tell them, they don't miss a single class. I'm happy and proud to tell you that my students will not miss a single class. I tell them that you can go and read. The Indian Penal Code, which is the criminal law in our country, has 511 sections. They can go and read it. Okay, go and read. But I tell them, you will not understand the intricacies of the law. You will not understand the complexities of the law. The crux of the subject, if you want to understand, sit in the class while the teacher teaches, interact with your classmates. I tell them in the class what is murder and what is culpable homicide. I tell them what is the difference between theft, extortion, robbery, and dacoity. It's not the same. I'm telling you, non-law people sitting here, it is not the same. You go to a classroom, listen to what the teacher has to say, interact in the classroom, clear your doubts then and there with the teacher, and then go home and read. You don't have to sit up till 2 o'clock at night before the exam to study. People will sit till 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning on the previous eve of the exam. And that exam hall, they can't hold their eyes up. You need a stapler, not to staple the papers which they have written, but to staple cunning in a kalatti vechu staple chandu. They cannot hold their eyes open. So therefore, about knowledge, the various sources of knowledge I've shared with you. But what is the use of your knowledge if you don't have values? When I talk of values, I'm talking of religious values, social values, moral values, and ethical values. If any of you is noting down, please remember, when you talk of having values, you need to know and to have religious values, spiritual values, social values, moral values, and ethical values. Religious values, how do we get it? Spiritual values. When we go to attend the Kurbana regularly, if you really pay attention, you will learn so much. You're thinking knowledge comes only from books. You go to the church, go to your MGOCSM regularly, listen to what is being read. Once in the church, I saw a young, very clever boy, actually, very intelligent boy. He's standing outside the church. Kurbana ingane nadakkuva, he's standing out, just standing out like that. College going boy. I said, Mone, Kurbana nadakkuva agattu. I went out because somebody called me for something. Something was happening that day, or they wanted to ask my opinion about something. It usually doesn't happen. Not that every day they'll call me out between the Kurbana. But when I went out, one boy standing. I said, Kurbana nadakkuva, let's see, it's going on inside. What do you do? Why are you out? He told me, and he's telling me frankly. I didn't scold him because at least he was speaking openly. He said, man, or rather, Rosanti, it's so boring. is telling me, Krubanade karyam parayam. It's so boring. Samayam 2-3 manikkur. But even if it's a boring movie, 3 hours, movie, cricket, football, we won't stop in between. We'll watch till the end. Let it be. That's a different issue. We'll talk about it later. You know why you find it boring? Because you're not understanding what's happening. And several times at MGOCSM, we've discussed Kurbana itself. There are many stages. What is the significance of each stage? At your MGOCSM one day, please discuss that. What is the importance of each stage in the Kurbana? Once you understand, you will think it's so meaningful. So meaningful that you don't want to miss anything. That's like, I would say, the class. If you miss something in between, then that track is lost. That continuity is lost. So that's about Kurbana. You can gain knowledge by religious teachings, reading the Bible, and gain values. The truth we say is in the Vajanam, in the Bible. That alone will teach you values. Actually, you don't have to go anywhere else. Be it the 10 Commandments or Christ, the various messages Christ himself gave, or the miracles he performed, all that teaches us certain values. So you get religious values from the church, from your home. Your parents will also tell you. When you're in school and you bring one pen or pencil which is not yours, Mone idate pena. Appakku ariyavalla idu appa vaangicha pena alla. Ninakku evidunnu kittiyathu? Enikku adu ishtapettu. Ende kootukarinte aanu appo njan adinge. I liked it very much. It was a nice green color pen. I liked it. I took it off. Then the father or mother will at once admonish you. Don't ever do it again. You want a pen? Tell Appa, I will buy you. What color do you want? All colors I'll buy you. Why do you steal from another person? So parents will teach you certain values. Or they will teach you not to tell lies. If you failed in one subject, come and tell your parents, Appa, nan thotu poyi. Nan padichadu poranjitto, padichilla. Whatever, tell the truth. But they will tell you, don't tell a lie for that. Don't try to, marks which you got is 10. And you will correct it as 100. Or 0. So all these little mischievous things children will do when they're young. But my dear MGOCSM students, you all are now mature. You're grown up. Now you know how important those 10 commandments are. Not to tell lies, to honor your father and mother. How many of you really respect your parents? I would say even when your parents enter the room, you must stand up. How many of you really honor your parents? Do you think when you grew itself, you had lovely long hair and you had all these nice clothes and or looking so tall and beautiful? All through. It was all starting, you came as a little baby and the mother used to bathe you regularly, putting oil on you and bathing you so that you get a good skin. A lot of care went behind upbringing of a child. Today, you will not realize it because you're now already in front of the mirror. You can see yourself already tall and beautiful and fair and nice, soft skin. But your mother has done a lot to bring you up. You know that you cannot be proud of your features, that you have a long nose. But you can be proud of your values. Your mother would have, parents, father and mother would have taught you some values. Keep up those values. So you get values from religious books, from your school, from parents, from MGOCSM, then when you go to youth movement, when you are in the Martha Mariam, when you go to the elderly group, when you're taught traditional values, you learn all these values. Now, apart from religious values, what do I mean when I say social values or moral values? Social values is our attitude to others in society. Your church members, your school or college friends, your neighbors, your level of sensitivity and compassion for others, for the poor child in your class. Do you feel the pinch of poverty in our society? We actually, try to recollect. At home, you have 4 meals, even 5 meals. You will have a bed coffee or bed tea or milk in the morning, and then you have breakfast, dosha, idli, upama, appam, whatever. Then again you will have lunch. But in between 11:30, if it's a holiday now, online classes, 11:30 you'll walk into the kitchen and eat something. Then again lunch you'll eat something. 3:30, 4 o'clock, it's not just coffee or tea or bonvita, but you'll eat something with that. Then when you go for, then at dinner time, you'll again take something. After dinner, you'll take an ice cream or pudding or payasam. How sensitive are you to the society around you that there are people who cannot have 1 meal a day? There are people in the north, and I wouldn't say only north, south also, who will have only 1 dry chapati. Adila neyya onnum pertittilla, sukkan, dry roti, with no sabji, no curry with that. The mother will say that the no curries, kuch nahi hai. And she might cut an onion or a green chili and tell the child to bite that and eat the roti like that. Or for everybody in the house. But we don't realize that we are always having a lot of plenty of food in the house, especially Malayalis. Or a urichu curry, then there is then it can be kachamor, sambar or rasam, then some thoran, then there is fish curry and fish fry, erchi, olattiyadu, what not. And no child values the time the mother has spent in the kitchen. No value at all. Anyway, how my question to you is, how sensitive are you to the poor person, the poor man in the street who has nothing to eat, no proper clothes? In Delhi's winters, they will take out the dhoti which they were wearing and cover themselves. No podapa, rajai or anything. Whereas you all have, those who lived in Delhi will know, a sweater matching every sari or every kurta. Matching sweater, matching shawl. And the poor man is pulling out that 1 thin dhoti which is wearing and covering his head and sleeping. Where? On the railway station. Then we have, now I was talking about social values, moral values. Can you imagine if you become a doctor, specialized, already specialized, you are a nephrologist, kidney specialist, and you take a patient for operation, the anesthetist will give anesthesia and the patient is unconscious, and you are asked to perform some small minor operation. But if you steal 1 kidney, the patient, he actually doesn't know what. Some operation is happening, that's all they know. And you are taking out 1 kidney, selling it and making money out of it. What kind of a doctor are you? Are you then not ashamed of yourself? A lawyer, if a lawyer is taking money from 1 client to appear for that client, but also slowly taking money from the opposite party and so purposely messing up your own client's case. What kind of a shameful lawyer? In every profession, there is need for values. Then, that's little I'm talking about ethical values when I'm telling about doctor and lawyer and professionals having to have ethics. Ethical values. It should suit, what you do should suit your profession. Your dignity as a doctor. Keep up your dignity as a doctor, a lawyer, or a manager, an MBA, a manager. Suppose he is a manager after doing MBA, but in his office, he is partial to people of some category because he has a racist view, racism, partial to people from one country. Or he has casteism in his mind. I'm a Brahmin, so being partial to the Brahmin students. What kind of lawyer are you? What kind of teacher are you? What kind of doctor are you if you don't have ethical values? But you have a lot of knowledge of the subject. Now, when I talk of moral values, what is your level of honesty and integrity? You're working in a bank, but you yourself, but banks are very careful. They'll count the notes daily. Daily, they'll check the balance. But imagine you're working in a bank and you yourself are slowly stealing some money through some way. So, values is one of, moral values is when you need never tell a lie. No, your level of honesty should be of a very high level. Honesty, integrity, humility. In Malayalam, I like that expression in Malayalam. Thalmayum vinayam. Vinayam. Meek. To be humble and meek. Why was Mother Mary chosen out of so many women? That meekness and humility. Now, when we talk of values, to the boys in the church, young boys who are sitting here, if ever anyone is here, I can't see many present, but those who are present, please convey it to the boys of your group. How many of you respect women? When I say respect women, what is the respect you want your mother, your sister, and when you get married? You are going to get married one day. You'll move to the youth movement. Your wife, your daughter, what is the respect you want them to enjoy in society? Do you like to hear the news, to get to know that your sister was raped, your mother was raped? Do you like it? Then remember, what you don't like should happen to your own mother, your sister, your daughter, your wife. Don't do it to others. Boys in college, don't indulge in eve teasing. Because in the bus, when a girl is going, you follow her, and you'll be commenting on her. Ye acha bada thoda hai. You're commenting on her. But if somebody tells that to your sister, you'll be very irritated. So there are many. See, even when I, as a criminal law teacher, I'm telling you, people always talk about rapes. But it's not only rapes. There are so many crimes in society. I want young boys of the church to be very sensitized to crimes like pornography, eve teasing, outraging the modesty of a woman, raping. All these are things which you don't want should happen to your mother or your wife or your sister. Then don't indulge in that with other women in society. Learn to respect women in society. Now, when I use the word respect and I'm talking of values, it's not only respecting women in society. How many of you give full respect and reverence to priests in your society, in your church, or in the diocese? Acchamarkum, Tirumenimarkum, Korepiscopa, Tirumeni. How much reverence? Respect pora. Respect is too mild a word. You should have reverence for that. And Amma or Achchanda Mola. My mother, my grandfather was a Achan. His father was also Achan, the oldest Orthodox Achan in Kalisheri. The oldest Orthodox Achan was my grandfather's father. Then my grandfather, then my mother, so proudly she'll tell everybody, she was very proud that her father is an Achan. We have to give them respect. And please stop assessing people. We are not perfect. Are we? So that's one thing. Secondly, your parents. You need to really respect your parents. Obey your parents. Ippalthe generation ingane angu vadikkedum parents matter. Amme onnu mindayiri amme. Ada ipo college le fashion. അമ്മയ്ക്ക് ഇത് വല്ലതും മനസ്സിലാവും. അമ്മ ചട്ടയും മുണ്ടും നേരിതൊക്കെ ഇട്ട് നടന്നിട്ട് അമ്മ ചുമ്മാ എന്നെ ദുപ്പട്ട ഇടിയിക്കാൻ നടക്കും. They are always grumbling at parents. The present generation is always fighting with parents for something or the other. എടാ TV ഓഫ് ആക്കട, വല്ല വരുന്ന പഠിക്കടാ, അമ്മയൊന്നും വേറെ, അമ്മ പോയി അടുക്കളയിലെ പണി നോക്ക്. And when the mother comes, they will quickly put some science lesson on the TV. Amma poi kazhinjal aarkariya pornography aano endho nokkunennu devathine ariyum. But I'm taking that sentence, devathine ariyam. God is watching. What is God watching? That each of us have precious time on this earth. On this earth, we all have a very short time. The Bible tells areal 80 and badal. Nowadays we hear of heart attacks, 35-year-old heart attack, 25-year-old kidney failure. We hear of all kinds of ailments even at a young age. Onnum poranyattu corona imam. So you have to remember there is no age for death. Anytime the Lord can call us. How prepared are we for death? So our time on this earth is so valuable. Vilakkapettadu. Acha, Korepiscopa anganana vilakkapettadu alle. Vilakkapettadu. Every moment of our life, we are answerable to God that I gave you life on this earth. How did you spend it? What did you do with the life? I gave you life. I didn't take away your life when you were 10-year-old. I've given you life. How are you utilizing your time? Are you reading knowledge, value-oriented books? Are you reading knowledgeable books? Are you reading trash? Are you watching movies which give a good message? Or are you watching pornography or rubbish? How are you spending your time? God gave you time. Don't waste even a second. We are answerable to God for the time on this earth. നമ്മൾ അതിന് ഉത്തരം പറയേണ്ടതാണ്. How we spent our time on this earth. Now, another issue. Today, the young generation is filled with knowledge. You are actually, I will say, an epitome of knowledge. You all have knowledge about your science books, your social science, your specialized subjects, lots of knowledge. But where do you stand at your value system? And value starts with every aspect of your life. Even punctuality to church or punctuality in your classroom. See, punctuality is not just being on time. A correct samayathu chellanam. That's not the meaning of punctuality. Punctuality is basically about respecting your own commitments You have a commitment. If you're working in an office, some of you may already be working or studying. You have a commitment. Respect that commitment. I used to jokingly tell my friends while talking to them at the Martha Mariam that നമ്മളെ പലരും പള്ളിയിൽ കയറുന്ന എപ്പോഴാന്ന് അറിയാം മോചനം അതിനായി വരുവീൻ പാപികളെ വരുവീന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കയറില്ല. That line when they're singing പാപികളെ വരുവീൻ, that time we'll be walking. Or when Achan says നിങ്ങൾ സന്തോഷിച്ച് സമാധാനത്തോട് പോകുവീന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ചിലർ കയറി വരുന്നുണ്ട്. Oh, at least then okay, at least you got that last blessing. But even that blessing, the moment you step out of the church, what are you doing? Where do you first go? You and your friends will plan to go where? Go for a movie. I don't tell children not to watch movies. Please watch movies. So what? But take the good thing from it. Learn from the good example from that. And then, where do you have values? How much do you impart to your non-Christian friends? Some of them have more values than us. Even let me see, do you start your day with Bible reading? Which is your favorite psalm? You know, Acha, sorry I keep saying Acha, Korapiscopa. I like Psalm 121. I like it very much. 121 Sangeet. I don't mind reading it every day. I lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From thence comes my help. And you know who is the person helping you? He neither sleeps nor slumbers. See, oranganillennu matramalla. Sleep and slumber are two different things. നമ്മളെ കാക്കുന്ന ദൈവം ഉറങ്ങുന്നില്ല ആൻഡ് ഡോസ് ഓഫ് പോലും ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. ഇങ്ങനെ അങ്ങനെ അങ്ങ് ഉറക്കം തൂങ്ങിപ്പോകത്തില്ല. അതാ നോ ഡോസിങ് ഓഫ് ഓൾസോ. വൈ? ഹീസ് വാച്ചിങ് ഓവർ യു. നൗ യു വിൽ ഓൾ ബി ഹാവിങ് പ്രോബ്ലംസ്. I don't believe there's anybody sitting here who has no problems. കോറെപ്പിസ്കോപ്പോയോട് ചോദിച്ചാൽ പറയാമല്ലോ, എനിക്കും എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ചില വിഷമങ്ങളുണ്ട്. വിഷമം വീട്ടിലെ ആരുടെയെങ്കിലും കാര്യമാകാം, നമ്മുടെ സഭയുടെ കാര്യമാകാം, നമ്മുടെ ഇടവകയിലെ ചിലത്തെ കാര്യമാകാം, എന്തെങ്കിലും ആവാം. വിഷമങ്ങളില്ലാത്തവരില്ല, വറീസ് ഇല്ലാത്ത ആരുമില്ല. But actually, I like another line in the Bible. Taste and see that the Lord is good. രുചിച്ചറിവീൻ, ദൈവത്തെ രുചിച്ചറിവീൻ. You taste him, then you will understand he's good. And awareness of that divine power in us, our divine power നമ്മളിൽ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞാൽ, that will give us solace and comfort. അവിടെ നമുക്കൊരു comfort കിട്ടും. കാര്യം, why are we worried? See, does anyone have a measuring tape? Take a tape and measure your shoulder. നമ്മുടെ തോളിന്റെ മെഷർമെന്റ് എടുക്കുക. ആ ഒരു തോളിന് എത്രയും ഭാരം താങ്ങാം? How much weight can your shoulder bear? You are having 8 subjects to study, 8 papers coming up for the exam, and each one, the syllabus is so much. Oh my God, how will I study this? When can I finish it? And I have another test paper tomorrow, exam tomorrow, and I have to submit my project to the other teacher. You know, we go crazy. We are so stressed. How many of you sitting here are not stressed at all? Different kinds of stress. Sometimes at the workplace, you're stressed. Your boss will tell you, tomorrow when you come to the office, please bring this project report. It should be ready. It has to be dispersed to the authorities. You are only having a few night hours to finish it. He's saying at 10 in the morning, it should be ready. So all of us have different types of stress. IT jobs, they'll keep a target that per month you should have done this much work. It's all beyond us. Yeah, പറ്റാത്തത് actually. Your shoulder is too narrow to bear that burden. Just leave the burden in the Lord's hands. You do your work. I'm not telling you, കിടന്ന് ഉറങ്ങിയിട്ടാ അത് ദൈവം നോക്കിക്കും. മാത്തൻ വയറ് നിറച്ച് കുടിച്ചിട്ട് ഇതാ മാത്തൻ മലക്കുന്നു. മാത്തൻ is just sleeping on. No, you have to do your work, your duty, and then ask the Lord to take your burden from you. You tell the Lord Jesus, take my burden from me. I'm unable to bear it. And the day you realize that you have faith in that divine power, you will get a lot of comfort and inner peace. Sometimes it's examination, it's office work, or you are in deep debt. ഒരേ കടം വീട്ടാനുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ വിചാരിച്ചാൽ അത് പറ്റുമോ? Just ask the Lord to take that burden from us and help us to fulfill that. So what I'm trying to say is, what you have to do today, do it today itself. Procrastination is not good. ഇന്ന് ചെയ്യേണ്ട പണി നാളത്തേക്ക് വെക്കണം. You do it today. Know the value of time. Snatch time. Seize the time given to you. Enjoy every moment of the time which God has given you. Don't remain idle. ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാതിരുന്ന ഒരു പണി നടക്കത്തില്ല. Never put for tomorrow what you can do today. ഇന്ന് തീർക്കാവുന്ന പണി ഇന്ന് തന്നെ തീർക്കും. അന്നന്ന് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന അന്ന് തന്നെ വൈകിട്ട് പോയി വായിച്ചിട്ട് കിടന്നുറങ്ങിയാൽ എക്സാമിന്റെ തലേദിവസം പഠിക്കണ്ട. So anything you do it in time. Let me ask you, how many of you are stressed? And stressed for what? What are the challenges which the youth are facing today? What are your challenges? It can be your studies, your work, or you're caught up in a love affair. അയ്യോ അവനെ അങ്ങ് പ്രേമിച്ചു പോയി, അല്ലെ അവളെ ഞാൻ പ്രേമിച്ചു പോയി, ഇനി ഞാൻ എന്തോ ചെയ്യും, ഞാൻ അങ്ങ് പ്രേമിച്ചു പോയി. Yes, I can see someone saying work stress. Definitely. We are thinking, അയ്യോ അവന് ജോലിയുണ്ട്, എന്ത് ലക്കിയാ. Those who are working are terribly stressed because there's a target fixed for them. A target which they cannot fulfill. നീ ഇത്രയും ചെയ്തെങ്കിലേ നിനക്ക് ഈ മാസം ശമ്പളം തന്നെ ഉള്ളൂ. ശരി, അവനെ കൊണ്ട് അത് പറ്റുന്നില്ല. But you think the bosses will have concern? They just want the job done. How do you get a relief from stress? Those who are stressed in the office, you have so much of work, but in between, take a walk. ചുമ്മാ ഒന്ന് എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നടന്ന് മറ്റു കൊളീഗ്സിനെ ഒക്കെ ഒന്ന്, യു വിൽ തിങ്ക് യോ അതിനുള്ള സമയം നമുക്കില്ല. അതിനുള്ള സമയം കണ്ടെത്തണം. Take a walk. Meet some friends and they will tell you their stress, then you will think theirs is 10 times more than yours. Then when you come back, you feel relieved. In your studies, you may be stressed. Ippam, I told you, paditham, endu padichalu adu pora. So those who have already done graduation and post-graduation, they have done a BA and an MA, they are taking an MBA also. Because adille pachathilla, nalla joli kittathilla. So people are stressed with studies, with work. Some are stressed with the home. Because they go home, the mother will start, "Ada TV on off aakike." You have come back stressed from the office and you're switching it on just to get some relaxation. But the mother is telling out of concern. She's thinking she knows you're having an exam the next day. But the stress you are in, nobody will understand. Only the only friend you have. You must sing now and then in your mind, what a friend I have in Jesus. The only friend you have is Jesus. I'm telling you, if you're very rich and you have a lot of money, you'll have a lot of friends. But the moment you fall into debt and you don't have the money to take them for a treat to casino, McDonald's, then these friends will leave you. Only if you have money, they come after you. And when you need money, nobody is going to give you. That is why the only friend who will remain faithful till the end is Jesus. Endu nallor Sakhi Yeshu. What a friend we have in Jesus. He alone will stay with you till the end, I'm telling you. How many of you sing that hymn now and then? How many of you open the Bible in the morning to get some consolation? Sing a hymn aloud. Itratolam Yehova enes sahaichu. How much God has blessed you, think of it. Then you will think your stress is nothing. Does anyone want to interact? Because I want to know what are the challenges you're facing today. Too many temptations also. See, you're really getting tempted. It's your age. At this age, you get tempted. You want to try out different things. You want to try smoking. You want to try drugs. You want to try drinks. You want to try out walking out and going and spending some time with women.
Ma'am,
But 1 second, I'll just take you 1 second. At the end of the day, you will realize none of these things are going to help you with your life forward. To move forward, that smoking will not help you, the drinks will not help you, the time you spend with that woman will not help you, nothing. To move forward, you have to live a life of dignity, self-dignity. You first respect yourself, and then only you get respect from others. And you respect others. There should be mutual respect. Carry yourselves forward with dignity. You will be respected in society. Yes, Joanne, you wanted to say something?
yeah, so when we're going out with our friends and they do something that they're not supposed to do, how do we say no without being rude? Or like
Very
without-
good. Very good. You know something? When you are rude, it may not have a good impact. See, small children, even if they're small, or a boy of adolescent age, they did something at that age which they should not do. The mother might slap him. But actually, by that physical slap, she may not get a good impact. It is only with soft words and making him understand with soft words that he will ever understand. Sometimes, naturally, mothers will say, Vinod, എത്ര മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് പറഞ്ഞാലും ഇവന് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നില്ല ആ ചൂല് വടി അതിങ്ങെടുത്തു. Not to beat him because he's so disobedient. But even that beating does not help. Joanne, with friends, you don't have to be rude. I can understand if a mother is so lost, she has lost her patience. You lost your patience at last, you become rude. But with friends, if you tell them softly, if you share an experience of something, like if he's into drugs, you can tell them, I know a boy who used to take drugs and he'll come back home and he'll go and sit in the corner of the house. He's fit for nothing, physically not fit. His mental condition is also gone because he has drugged himself. So it has impact on your physical growth and your mental condition. If you tell your friend, I know a boy who has done this, he could not study after that, he's not fit for work because he's drugged himself. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to talk to people. So, by sharing experiences of people whom you know, who are going into a wrong path and where they've ended, that's the only way to correct a friend. If you are rude, she will say, you get off. You get lost and please mind your own business. Nee enda karyathil idapedanda. Enikku ariya njan enna cheyanam. What's the use? You have not got anything out of it. So the only way is by soft speaking. And if you know she's really going off the path, you'll have to talk to your teachers to get a counselor to bring her back to the right path. Love affairs. At young age, people want to start a physical relationship. I'm telling you, young students, I'm teaching criminal law. I know young girls who went and slept with a boy and they've become pregnant. Then they're crying. Then they want to have an abortion. Then they want to commit suicide. They finished, the life is over. So one day was responsible for all the consequences that have followed. See, it's when we tell a 16-year-old there's an age for everything, please, don't get into it. They will say, no, please mind your own business. But when that 16-year-old girl or 18-year-old girl has a daughter, will you allow your 9-year-old daughter to sleep with a boy? Why are you stopping her? She'll say, it's my freedom. And the Swandriya, please, Amma idile edabedanda. So, will you, I'm only asking you all that question. Will you allow your 9-year-old or 11-year-old or 14, 49 is too young, 16-year-old daughter, when you have a daughter, will you allow her to go and sleep with the boys in the neighborhood? Not one with many. Tell me the truth. Why do you want to restrict? Today you are talking to your parents and give freedom, madam, Swandriya. Then why do you want to stop your daughter? Give her also the freedom. She'll come back home pregnant. You go there, go with her to a gynecologist. Prasavikim. Then she'll sleep with another man, Pinnem Prasavikim, and you will say, so what? Let her enjoy life. Will you be that kind of a mother? So don't argue with mothers about these things. They know why they're doing it. They want to give you a bright future. They want to give you a legal child, not an illegal offspring. Now, anything else? Neha, do you agree with me? Was it Neha who asked me?
No, ma'am, Joanne.
Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can't be rude to friends. No use. Anyone else? Joanne?
Ma'am,
Yes?
is there any particular experience you have with your students that you would like to share about?
Yeah. I should share one fact. 22 years in Delhi, I was with Jamia Millia Islamia, Central University. People told me, oh, I said, no. Till today, I have not got that love and respect and warmth which I got from my Jamia students. And don't think majority, they are all Muslims. It's not true. It's open selection. Only thing people in that that locality may apply more to that university. I had students from all over India. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, I had students in my college. They were so full of love and respect and warmth. And the car, if they're sitting on some parapet or something, they'll stand. I have not told them stand. I've never told my students, hey, why I'm a teacher, I'm passing by, I'm the dean, I'm the dean of the faculty, why are you not standing? Automatically they stand. These things you all should learn from childhood. Now, experiences of good students. I don't know, when I was a dean 3 years, I somehow didn't have any bad experience. But when I was vice chancellor at the National Law, Korapiskapa Cochin University, it was the National Law University. Okay, it doesn't matter. I was the vice chancellor there. Some students came and complained to me, ma'am, we have a doubt that 3 students are taking drugs in the hostel. They should discontinue. 5-year law course. And they've already reached 4th year or something. Going to move into the 5th year. Because they should be asked to leave. Some of the teachers came and told me, ma'am, hostel another. If one person starts with drugs, they will train others also. Let's send them out of the college. Let them go and study something else. 5-year course, 4th year, 5th lot. You know what I did? I cannot say, oh, I have to be strict. When I have to be firm, I will be firm. I called these 3 boys to my room, to the Vice Chancellor's room. I said, give me an explanation. Boys, they were crying and asking, apologize. Please, ma'am, we promise you we will not repeat it. But as a Vice Chancellor, I have to take some step. If we don't take any steps, firm steps, many will start. Oh, Vice Chancellor, I am punishing. What I did, I told these boys that almost even their own friends in college, even teachers are telling me to send you out of the university, out, discontinue. That's what they are saying. But I'm giving you one chance. I won't spoil your career. You have a career ahead of you. You're spoiling your career, but I don't want to spoil your career. You continue your studies, but you have to leave the hostel. Outside the hostel, there are paying guests and other hostels. You can stay out. They were begging, ma'am, please don't send us out of the hostel. I said, I will have to, because I can't take a risk. I'm risking with 3 of you. If I take a risk, 100 students in the hostel may be influenced by your habit of taking drugs. So I took that step. I sent them out of the hostel. I said, but I will allow you to continue your studies. But I didn't stop at that. After that, I called them. I said, did you understand? You only lost the hostel now. But if you had continued this activity, you will lose your career, your whole life. You become fit for nothing. In criminal law, one topic I teach is drug abuse and drug addiction. If you're addicted to smoking, you won't give it up. You're addicted to drinks, you won't give it up. You're addicted to drugs, you won't give it up. Addiction is very dangerous. Neha, can you hear me? Though it's addressing the boys, addiction is very dangerous. Don't get addicted to smoking, to drinks, to drugs, to pornography. Don't get addicted. Then you can't stop these things. You have lost, you have destroyed your career. 5 varsham poi kittunnu. Njan lawyക്ക് പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ 3-year course. Of course, after 3 years of graduation. ഇപ്പൊ 5 വർഷം law പഠിക്കണം, 5 വർഷം engineering, 5 വർഷം MBBS, 5 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞ് drugged ആയിട്ട് ഇറങ്ങി വന്നാൽ നമ്മളെ എന്തോ ഇതിന് കൊള്ളും? What are we fit for? We can't do our work. So, experience while teaching drug abuse, I've stated many instances of drug people who have been drugged. Even possessing drug is an offense. Young boys, please listen to me. Drugs edukkannalla. Even if you're found in possession of drugs, the police can arrest you. Please remember. I go to airport, if somebody says, "Njan on the bathroom, toilet, bag, don't take a stranger's bag." If you're found with that bag and there's drugs in that bag, you will be caught because you are in possession of drugs. There is an act, there is a law, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, the NDPS Act, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. Now you will think, oh, drugs, you know, you just read. You all are not reading. You have the Google and you can surf the net for any information. You read about smoking. It will 100% affect lungs. You know it. Your future is going to be, you're going to be a lung, victim of a lung disease. That's disease, the cancer at us. You know the consequences and you're doing it. So you need counselors in church. You need counselors in your institution to tell people, don't start. Addicted. Drinks also. കുടിച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു ബോധവും ഇല്ലാതെ വീട്ടിൽ കയറി. There are irresponsible sons and irresponsible fathers. The father is drunk, he comes home drunk. How can he expect his 5-year-old son to grow up with values? I was talking about Mulyangal. How can you teach values to your son if you yourself don't have any values? You can't say, no, my son will not be like that. He's watching you. He's not deaf or blind or dumb. He's watching you. Okay, anyone has anything to talk about, to interact? Feel free to ask anything. Even if it's a girlfriend who is of intercaste, please tell me, ask me. Oh, you don't want to tell it out. Achanum Episcopal കേൾക്കും. അപ്പൊ എങ്ങനെ എന്നോട് പറയുന്ന? വേണ്ട, അത് പറയണ്ട. അങ്ങനെ ആണെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് വേണേ പറഞ്ഞു, ജനറൽ ആയിട്ട്. About marriage, I'll say, whether it is intercaste or same caste or same religion, or it is exactly your Orthodox Sabele Tanne Ala, nothing is a guarantee. Young students, MGOCSM students, this is the time you should go for premarital counseling. Not post-marriage, premarital counseling, because life is an adjustment. No two, rendu kudumathinu varuva. They cannot be the same. Two twin sisters are not the same. Eretta pillarku different habits. Then how can you expect two human beings to be the same? But it depends on how you start understanding the person, and both remember what is that. For us, marriage is not a contract. It is a sacrament. So we take an oath in church that we will maintain it till our last breath. അവസാനത്തെ മരണം വരെ, ലാസ്റ്റ് ബ്രെത്ത് വരെ ഞാൻ ഈ മനുഷ്യന്റെ കൂടെ തന്നെ ജീവിക്കും. ആ മനുഷ്യനും പറയണം, ഇവിടെ തന്നെ ഞാൻ മരിക്കുന്നിടം വരെ. നല്ലാണേലും അല്ലേലും try to correct each other, check each other, mutual discussion, mutual love and mutual respect. സ്നേഹം മാത്രം ഉണ്ട്, married life will not last. It is respect also. I became a vice chancellor because of my husband. The way he encouraged me, you will not believe. I had only done BA English Literature and LLB when he married me. But after marriage, he told, "Nan PhD cheyva ade university LLM ne chera." He encouraged me to take up post-graduation. I did LLM, MPhil, and PhD after marriage. Of course, my father had told me, "Padikkan pattunna athrayam padikkanam." But of course, at the marriageable age, the parents will want them to be married. But now my husband has stepped in. I saw him for a moment. Anyway, maybe he wants to tell me, "Enne patti parayanda, matta karyangal parayan." But I would proudly tell, even in front of Core Episcopa, no woman in the world will get such a nice husband. My sons tell me, no boy, no child in the world, I have 2 sons, will get such a nice appa. Madhvaya Karumarno, Adamana, not that all have to get on the Madhva, but he has lived a very spiritual life. He led the family like that. He taught each of us to be like that, me and my children. Whether they followed him or not is a different thing. But the values he gave to the family. Each of you, whether you're a mother or a father later, teach values to your children. You give them knowledge, not padike, but also with knowledge, teach values. And I go back from where I start. Whether you're a shepherd, a parent, a teacher, or a class prefect, not only give knowledge, but also values. Knowledge without values is useless. Arivum, vivaram, okay, pora. But മൂല്യങ്ങൾ, we have to respect values. Anyone? I think someone wants to speak. I can see one. Someone raising the hand. I think we've exceeded the time. It's your lunch time. Intellectual food, Borail, or you need food also. But I'm very happy to see that the Sharjah Palli is taking this initiative, because it's the young children who are prone to quickly get spoiled, to go into bad company, to seek company of people who have a lot of money, restaurant curry, appa oru kuppiyum kudu pottikkum. We have to know what our priorities are in life, fixed priorities. At your age, your priority is what Christopher told us at the opening remarks. Your own friend Christopher Raju said, you should have a reason for a successful career. You want a successful career? Fix priorities. At your age priority is to study. If you're working, your priority is to be the best in your office. People should find you indispensable. What's the meaning of being indispensable? That in the office, they should think, oh, even illengi actually oru karyam nadakkathilla. Ayyo, ivane nammal vera engum vidalla. We should keep him in our office. We should keep her in this office. She's so committed, so conscientious, so hardworking. That person who was feeling stressed, I know, I really can understand. Many jobs are stressful. But continue to hold yourself there and work and prove to the boss that he cannot do without you in the office. Be indispensable, that's the right word. Yes, anything else? Acha, I think, Korapiscopa, I think it's lunchtime.
Yes.
They'll be telling Madhi, they should not tell themselves, ഇവരൊന്ന് നിർത്താൻ പറ, ഇവരൊന്ന് നിർത്തിയിട്ട് വേണമല്ലോ ഞങ്ങൾ വല്ലതും കഴിക്കാൻ.
Please ask them. Anybody wants to tell anything, please? Any clarification or anything want to share?
Any doubt? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree with anything? You're free to disagree.
Yes.
You're not forced to accept all that I said. You can disagree if you want.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
What are the biggest lessons you have learned as of being a teacher for so many years?
What sort of?
Biggest lesson you have learned as of being a teacher for so many years?
The lesson I've learned?
As a teacher.
Yes. The lesson I've learned is be a model to your students. It's because we keep our dignity. We carry ourselves with dignity and with values. No student in 22 years in Delhi, or my 4 years as Vice Chancellor in the National Law University, or now I'm Director Academics, I have never been accused of being partial to anybody. They will never accuse me of being partial, because I cannot be partial. For me, all my students are the same. Whether you are rich, poor, fair, tall, dark, short, thin, fat, it doesn't matter for me. So, my lesson is teachers should be role models. Don't be partial. And don't treat your students as if they don't know anything. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
My lesson is you be a committed and dedicated teacher. You will always win the love and respect of students. To the back. I think the net.
So we are happy to see Mr. Rajendra is You also joined?
Yes. Acha,
After a long time.
ഇവിടുത്തെ സമയം അറിയത്തില്ല.
Uh,
ഇവിടെ ലഞ്ച് ടൈമാ. So I
okay.
just thought I was happy to see Achan and Kochama.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Go Episcopa.
Keka. Doesn't matter. You can call Achan. No problem. Okay.
അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ
ഇല്ല
ഇവിടുത്തെ
കേക്കാം.
യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിലെ ലഞ്ചിന് വേണ്ടി ഇങ്ങോട്ട് പുറത്തോട്ട് ഇറങ്ങിയതാ.
Okay.
അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു പ്രോഗ്രാം, നല്ല പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇങ്ങനെ ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്ത് നല്ല കൺഗ്രാജുലേഷൻ പിന്നെ എപ്പിസ്കോപ്പായ്ക്കും വേണം. നന്നായിട്ട് ഇത് നടന്നതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്.
Okay. Saturday is working for you.
Alternate Saturdays working.
Working.
First and third avadiya.
ബാക്കിലോട്ട് വെച്ച ബാക്കിലോട്ട് വെച്ച.
You are in the Bangalore University or which university now? Rajan?
Alliance University എന്ന് പറയും.
ബാംഗ്ലൂർ.
Okay. Alliance
ബാക്കിലോട്ട്.
ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സിറ്റിയുടെ അടുത്താണ്. ബാംഗ്ലൂരിലെ ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സിറ്റിയുടെ അടുത്താണ് അത്.
ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സിറ്റി. ഓക്കെ.
ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് സിറ്റി നമ്മുടെ ഹൊസൂർ റോഡ്, കേരളത്തിലോട്ടുള്ള വഴി, ബാംഗ്ലൂരിൽ നിന്ന് കേരളത്തിൽ പോകുന്ന വഴിയുടെ അടുത്ത്.
ഓക്കെ.
ഇവിടുന്ന് ആ മെയിൻ റോഡിൽ നിന്ന് അടുത്ത്.
ഓക്കെ. Both of you doing good. ബാംഗ്ലൂർ നല്ലതല്ലേ? കൊച്ചിക്കാട്ട് നല്ലതാ?
നല്ല സ്ഥലമാണ്. ഈ സമയത്ത് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ഒരു എൻഗേജ്മെന്റ് ഉള്ളത് നല്ലതാണെന്ന് ഓർത്ത് ഞങ്ങൾ
അതെ. റിട്ടയർഡ് ലൈഫ് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് എൻഗേജ് ആയിരിക്കും നല്ലതാ. ഗുഡ്, വെരി ഗുഡ്.
പ്രാർത്ഥനയില് ഞങ്ങളെ ഓർക്കണം. ഞാനിങ്ങനെ ലോഗ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യുക.
ഓക്കെ. താങ്ക് യു.
All the best for all the activities.
Thank you.
God bless everyone, every other people.
Okay. Prayers and blessings be with you. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beloved,
he himself was very active with MGOCSM and with militias, our militias, Baba Tirumeni, who left us. They were very active in Trivandrum when Tirumeni was Polachan.
Anybody else want to ask anything?
Episcope, I would like to say something.
Please.
I'm Jijo Koshi from Riyadh, MGOCSM, and it's great. Sharjah is doing such great things. We are inspired. Hopefully, we will have a class from ma'am as well. And since it's online, I think it'll be great to have you, ma'am. Thank you, Episcope, for this initiative.
Good. Thank you.
Actually, I'm also from Bangalore.
Okay. Edupalli? Which one?
Cathedral.
Oh, Cathedral. Okay.
Thank you. And I stay in Electronic City as well. So.
Okay.
Okay, Evelyn, carry on.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. It was a great pleasure to listen to your wise words and learn so much from it. Next, we have a presentation honoring our dear teachers, and I invite Ms. Neha Elizabeth Zakaria to lead the session.
Greetings to you all in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. As a part of the 25th year anniversary of MGOCSM, we are celebrating International Teachers' Day to show our respect and gratitude to all the teachers that have taught us. Let me start my presentation with the Word of God. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I'll counsel you with my loving eye on you. Psalm 32, verses 8. The International Teachers' Day is celebrated every year on October 5th to show our gratitude, love, and recognition of hard work they put in to mold us. The Indian scripture
ഇത്
states about the
തുടക്കമാണ്.
four entities Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam, where the position of teacher is next to God. World Teachers' Day is held annually on 5th of October to celebrate all teachers around the globe. It commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of the 1966 ILO and UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teacher, which sets benchmark regarding the rights and responsibilities of teacher. World Teachers' Day has been celebrated since 1994. So the theme of Teachers' Day 2021.